Greetings from the universe, everyone. Welcome to our podcast. This is Celestra's Wisdom with Shelley Celestra and me, your host, Ishana Sophia. On this program, Shelley Celestra brings you new tools for spiritual healing. We're coming to you from beautiful northern New Mexico, and we thank you for listening today. Today's date is July 28th, 2018. Please note, the information on this program is provided for educational purposes only and is not meant to provide medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment, or to take the place of medical care for maladies that are physical, psychological, or emotional. The purpose of this program is to share the research and personal experience of the speakers in spiritual healing by working with our subtle bodies and our own divine energy to bring cleansing, balance, and harmony within. On your journey of self-healing, we hope to help you ground your divinity in your body in order to expand your light. Our goal is your self-empowerment that comes with the knowing and accepting of the truth of your divine self as healer. Shelley, I'm going to turn the mic over to you today.
Hello, I'm Shelley Celestra, and I bring you greetings from Divine Source and the United Light Beings of the Great Universe. I am blessed with receiving gifts from Source that I share with you. I help you access the universe so that you find greater awareness and understanding, as well as learning how to heal yourself. This is a synergistic relationship. As I teach you, you teach me by asking questions that I have to find answers for by accessing the universe. We are blessings for each other. I thank you for being a partner in this spiritual journey.
Thank you, Shelley. We decided that we were going to review something we mentioned 2 videos ago, that in that video we had some sound problems and we're not sure how much we need to review. So let's review quantum golden mean healing.
Okay.
When would you use quantum golden mean healing?
All the time.
Everywhere, all the time.
That's right. Quantum golden mean energy on its own it's the best tool that we have to heal the subtle body. So it works on everything from the subatomic to the atomic to the cellular structure to your electrical, electromagnetic, magnetic, and kinetic energies. It works on your chemistry, on your hormones. It can work on, and does work on, everything in the body. When you are wanting to use the quantum golden mean energies, it's good to remember to go back to what we talked about the last couple times of using your left index finger to make a circle, which represents Celestra, which is source.
On the right palm.
On the right palm, which is source, represented here as our sun. And then you use your right index finger to draw on the palm of your left hand a quarter moon, which of course represents Luna the moon. Then you place your right hand over your left hand, which creates the earth, and then you place them over your God's eye at the belly button, which is the universe. When you combine all 4 of these energies, it means you are working with all the frequencies, vibrations, and waveforms of all of those elements. Now, quantum golden mean energy is all the subtle energies. So you're talking about pions and mitochondria and all the smallest processes in the body and the smallest particles. So you're talking about protons and neutrons and everything that creates what we are as beings. Energies or elements, it doesn't matter what we are, we're all created from the golden mean blueprint. So what this does is it allows you to come back to that pure self, healing the separations that we have from source and from ourselves. Is there anything else you'd like me to add?
You didn't mention rainbow rays, and I always like to paint the rainbow on everything.
Okay. So quantum golden mean energies can be used as the rainbow rays. You can combine the 2 together. The rainbow rays are all the aspects of love, of source. So healing. Go ahead.
I thought the golden mean energy always contained the rainbow rays.
It does, but I'm saying that people sometimes like to think of it as combining rather than as everything being one. It depends on how you think, how your mind works. To me, the rainbow rays, they've always been here. What has happened is when we've ushered in the golden mean energies again, you are combining everything. You're combining all the light that there is in the universe, which means all of the rainbow rays, all the aspects of love, of compassion, joy, courage, understanding, kindness, forgiveness, all of those things that we think of as light energies in the body, in the being. And that's what we're doing today. So we're working on bringing that to all our systems.
So what does it look like when you work with the quantum golden mean energies?
You've brought the energies into the palms of your hands. It's also flooding through your system. And the reason you have it do both come into your hands and flood your system, is because you want to be working from the lightest possible energy when you are working on yourself or on anyone else or any other system. So by doing this, it's protecting you, because part of what the golden mean, the rainbow rays, all that combined energy, part of what it does is it helps strengthen all of your systems, your corona, your mental, emotional bodies, everything, so that everything is more solid, more real.
Okay, and you mentioned to me this week something about the energy in your hand is multiplied by what, 10?
By 10.
By doing the connecting to all these energies and working with the universe by putting your hands on the God's eye navel.
Yes.
Okay. So the purpose in that is to charge your hands 10 times stronger than the rest of your body.
Yes.
So that you can send energy. So what does it look like when you do healing work with this?
I'll tell you, for me, one of the easiest things to do is I state my intention, again, with my hands over my belly button. Let's say I have faith in myself and I have faith in the universe. Very important to remember to say that. I have faith in myself and I have faith in the universe. Or you can say, I trust in myself and I trust the universe. To create, using the quantum golden mean energies, healing for, and then be specific about what you want to heal. So let's say today we're going to say, weather imbalances. We'll use that. So you can put your hands in front of you with your palms facing each other about 18 inches apart, and then you work on healing. You send that quantum golden mean energy through the earth.
Do you imagine a big earth in between your hands?
I do.
Great.
Okay, so you have the earth between the palms of your hands. Mm-hmm. And you can choose to be specific about who you work with, the gods and goddesses of weather, whatever you choose. But you're using the quantum golden mean energy and you're sending it from hand to hand, so it's bouncing back and forth all the time, and it's working on healing the weather systems. Mm-hmm. And the reason I bring weather systems up right now is because we have so much active volcanic, not just eruptions, but movement going on, that it's creating all these really difficult weather systems all over the planet. Mm-hmm. And so it's one of the things that I'm working on right now to assist in healing and balancing, so that the earth comes back to her natural state. Mm-hmm. And that isn't for me to decide what that is. I just ask that the earth come back to its natural weather state.
Because we have areas with massive flooding, and we have areas that with difficult drought. Mm-hmm. And some of those areas with drought it's kind of unheard of, like in England.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so some areas, the energy is getting sucked away, and that's what drought is. It's where the energy is getting sucked out of that system. And so what you're working with, the quantum golden mean energy, you've got pions and mitochondria and all these other particles that you are sending through the earth and the atmosphere around the earth to assist in healing and balancing all these elements, so that the weather patterns can right themselves again. So it's one of the big things we're working on. So that's just an idea of one of the things you can do. You can also just put your hands outward after you've stated your intention at your God's eye. You can put your hands outward and send out light messages to, say, pharmaceutical companies or whatever it happens to be, to help bring light into these areas that have become darker because of money, most frequently. But you can do it on any system. You can help with your family in the same way. You can either use your hands palm facing one another like we did with the earth, or you can have them palms outward. I kind of like for family to put my hands towards each other because it's to me it's a more intimate way to do it than having your hands facing outward.
Mm-hmm. And then you imagine your family between your hands.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And give an example of something you'd send to your family.
Okay, so I would send through them the light frequencies for healing the physical body, which is an important one. The light frequencies to heal their seeding cells to its pure form, to create harmony between the family members.
I think I've heard you talk about asking for healing to the original blueprint.
Yes.
Would you make a statement of intention with that so we could hear that?
Right. So you would state, I work with myself and my family to restore us to original blueprint. And what that means is you're using the quantum golden mean energies to restore you to what you originally are without separations. So that means it's working on healing your separations from source. Like anything that you think of as darkness in the body is a separation from source. And so you are healing, you're harmonizing the body, restoring it to its natural state.
Okay.
Ridding it of illusion.
Okay. Are you ready to conclude with
Yes.
quantum golden mean healing and talk about working with it with fracting?
Yes.
Okay. Would you summarize that for us?
Yes. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're talking about how you use the combined golden mean energies, which means the fracting with quantum golden mean, the rainbow rays, everything is combined together. And by using the quantum golden mean energies, that also means your embryo, your umbilical cord, the thread that you can use to weave people back together.
The golden mean thread?
Mm-hmm. So when you use all these tools as one healing method, what you can do is heal the electrical, electromagnetic, magnetic, and kinetic energies, and you can heal all the other systems in the body at one time without needing to break things apart. But you have to learn how to use each of the tools on their own first, and then you combine them together to create a greater healing.
All right. So let's give an example, this model for the listeners.
Mm-hmm.
How would you use fracting with the combined golden mean energies?
Mm-hmm.
And let's say you wanted to work on healing an internal organ for yourself.
Okay. So you would do the same thing with drawing the circle on the right hand, the quarter moon on the left, and then combine those energies to create the earth.
Put the right hand on top of the left hand, and that combines with the earth.
And then you place it over your God's eye, which also combines the universe.
At your navel.
Mm-hmm. And then what you do is you would state your intention. I use the combined golden mean energies, which includes fracting, to break apart all calcifications, mucus.
Let's say for the liver.
Okay. Calcifications, mucus, and toxins in the liver.
Mm-hmm. So
you would then take your hands and begin the buzz. So.
Do I start at the top of my head again?
Nope. In this instance, because you're wanting to work with one organ, you just place it in front of your abdomen and then go over your liver. Okay.
putting my hands to the side and I'm releasing some thick energy. Now, in that short time, were you able to see any changes in my liver?
Yes. And I see that you've got a lot of mucus that will probably be coming out through, your natural process.
Digestive system.
Mm-hmm.
The liver's connected to the small intestine, connected to the colon.
And it's going to come out that way.
Okay.
Now, when you do that from the liver, that also eases up the lymph system, which means that you'll start clearing yet more mucus. So you'd probably need to do this about 7 days.
Okay.
And that way you're clearing the entire system of all the mucus that it's caused by allergies, digestion issues, stress. It's caused by all kinds of things. A lot of people get gout, and it's directly related to all the mucus in the body.
Okay. So I would like to suggest that we conclude this topic and start a new video for a new topic that we discussed. But do you have any concluding statements about what we talked about today? We talked about the quantum golden mean energies, and then we talked about fracting with the combined golden mean energies. Now, couldn't you just most of the time just do fracting with combined golden mean energies, and then you wouldn't have to think about, well, am I going to turn it to the dial to the left, or am I going to turn the dial to the right? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's more all-encompassing to cover just about everything?
By saying combined, it includes fracting. You don't have to separate that word out.
Oh,
Okay.
You don't have to do that?
Right. So combined golden mean means you're adding the fracting. And once you've done the buzzing, your hands understand exactly what fracting is. It understands what you're doing. So you don't need to make the buzz sound anymore, but you do the first time you work on somebody. You need to use that to help their electrical system wake up, their electromagnetic, magnetic and kinetic. It wakes those systems up.
Okay. Now, I went to a conference once when we first learned about fracting, and I decided to send a blessing to everyone in the room by making the buzz sound in my mind and pointing my hands to the general audience. And I just laid my hands on my thighs and I opened them up toward the audience and sent a blessing to everyone. Do you want to give us any fine tuning on how that could be accomplished, or is that okay the way I did it?
No, that's perfectly fine the way you did it. That works very well.
So I didn't have to make any noise, and I didn't have to move my hands in a way that was calling attention to me and away from the speaker.
No.
I just did a blessing for the group. Okay.
The more you trust yourself, and I will repeat that we talked about earlier, saying I trust myself and I trust the universe, it will make you stronger and just more sure of yourself every time you do it. And by doing something like you did, it seems too simple to some people, but life doesn't have to be complicated. As humans, we make it complicated.
Yeah.
So doing a blessing like that works very well.
Do you have any closing comments about anything we talked about today?
No.
Then I want to say something about fracting. So I don't remember when we made our first YouTube podcast about fracting, but seems like it was quite a while ago. So now when I just think of my hands, I feel them turn on. And I may or may not be in a place where I want to draw the sun on my hand and the moon on my hand and whatever. So I can just work with the energy because it's already turned on in my hands. I just wanted to say that.
Yes.
That eventually our listeners may feel that, that their hands turn on when they think about it.
You'll know when you come to that point. It's because what has happened is you leave your universal door open. You're always connected. And you don't feel the need to draw the patterns anymore because it's already there. When you get to that point, it's another level of acceptance, so you're not separating.
Yeah. Now, is it okay with you if I talk about my water blessings just briefly?
Sure.
Okay. So, in the last 6 months, I went to a conference where a lady was talking about water blessings, and I thought, I want to do that, And then I realized I already knew about Dr. Emoto's work, but I'd forgotten about it in the last however many years, 5 years or so. So I reviewed Dr. Emoto's work, and I really like looking at things visually, so I had lots of pictures to look at these beautiful crystals that had been sent energies of love and gratitude and things like that. So I have expanded on that a little bit by collecting bottled water from around the world and collecting wild river water or well water from our region, and I have collected mineral salts from around the world, and so I have almost every continent represented in the samples that I have except for Africa and South America. So I have these samples of waters and minerals around the world, and so I combine them, and then I do fracting with combined golden mean energies and send them all of these aspects of the divine energies, and I believe that that turns this water into beautiful crystalline energy, and then I take it to our local river and I pour it in with the intention of those crystalline structures of the divine energies, the golden mean energies, expanding to the source of that river and expanding to the oceans and expanding through all of the molecules of water in our atmosphere, on our surface, and within the earth. And that just makes my heart happy to do that.
Yeah, and that's a beautiful blessing that you're giving back.
Yeah, yeah. And we could do this for the trees, send them fracting and golden mean energies, because people say that trees are really connected through the root system around the world.
They are.
So since I love trees so much, that's something I want to do too.
Yep.
Okay, well, let's close this video. So Shelley, would you like to do your universal blessing?
Sir. In the divine language, Bo Elehu Es Adbalu Elaol Es Ame Am, meaning may universal harmony, peace, and understanding live in you always.
Thank you for that beautiful blessing. We also want to thank our listeners for joining Celestra's Wisdom today. We hope you'll find this information helpful on your journey and that you'll tune in again soon to see what is new. Please consider subscribing to this channel to follow the sequence of Shelley Celestra's lessons on new tools for universal healing. This is your host, Ishana Sophia, sending you peace and love and healing to all beings from my heart to yours. Good day, and thank you for your presence with us. May universal harmony, peace, and understanding live in you always.